ASEAN Dailies. First and foremost news from Southeast Asia.
Welcome back to Trian ASEAN, you're with Grace at ASEAN Dailies, where we deliver and also discuss about news from Southeast Asia. So this segment, we're focusing on social culture and also trends that's been going on, and also a bit of a breaking news that's regarding to society. So according to the researchers, apparently there are a lot of diseases going around in Southeast Asia, including dengue, and of course we are talking about Zika disease. And in Indonesia, this case was found there. So Indonesian Research Institute mentioned that was on Sunday that it had found one positive Zika case on Sumatra Island, adding that the virus has been circulating in the country for a while. So Indonesia's health ministry could not immediately, of course, comment on this report. However, when it comes to the found case, the mosquito-borne virus, it was sparked the widespread alarm in parts of the Americas first. Then it was suspected of causing a lot of other diseases. So what happened was a 27-year-old man living in Jambi province on Sumatra Island, who had never traveled overseas, had been found be infected. So it said it stumbled on the case while studying a dengue outbreak in that particular province. So according to the researchers, set aside a specimen which produced the dengue symptoms such as rashes and fever, but which tested negative for dengue. And then they went on further and further. So Zika is also transmitted by this Aedes aegypti mosquito, which also spread the dengue fever, and also chikungunya virus as well. So it produces flu-like symptoms, including a low-grade fever, headaches, and joint pain, and rashes, and it's very, very vital when it comes to young kids or infant babies. They conclude that virus has been circulating in Indonesia for a while already, and the World Health Organization warned in the past few weeks the virus is spreading explosively in Americas, with 3 million and 4 million cases expected this year. And the hardest hit so far has been in Brazil, with more than 1.5 million cases since April. So please be careful. And if you can, please do help to clear your area and to change water. Make sure the mosquitoes, they don't breathe there. But at the same time, when you think about these old diseases, right, it seems that El Nino gets blamed for everything. Well, the impact from the El Nino are pretty diverse and wide-ranging. But could this year's this worsening Zika virus outbreak be related to this ongoing El Nino the occurrence? So, well, according to the researchers and the analysis, the answer could be yes, and meteorological factors certainly play an important role in determining the global range of virus transmitting aids, the mosquitoes, and how they can transmit of disease, of course. And El Nino is characterized by warming waters in the Central and Eastern Pacific Ocean, typically bring warmer temperatures and shifting precipitation patterns to South America, and that can create conditions that help mosquitoes populations and the diseases they can transmit, which is very fast and rapid. So the whole El Nino happened decades ago, and now with this disease, a lot more studies are going on, and a few other countries are affected as well, other than Indonesia, like I mentioned, in Brazil, and America is even more. So once the temperature rise in the spring and summer, or even in the warm temperature in Southeast Asia, this type of mosquito is spreading the disease really, really fast, and their conditions is really, really suitable to live and breathe. So partially El Nino has also influenced in spreading this disease started from the United States. Well, next news is on the the Malaysia is apparently the weakest in the struggling Southeast Asia's IT job market. Well, it was just a Thailand before, but according to online job platform Monster's latest employment index, the demand for IT professionals remained the weakest in Malaysia in a struggling Southeast Asia market. So the question is, isn't Malaysia no longer an IT hub anymore in Southeast Asia? Which, when it comes to technology, IT, they are one of the very important elements to thrive and also improve this economical growth in the one country. But the Malaysia's recorded 33% year-over-year decline in the sector, and it is weakest among the three markets surveyed. That was further from the November the studies. Well, it is quite uncertain global trend reported over the past year, such as Chinese poor economic growth and also weak ringgit value, which have also caused employers to be more cautious with their hiring spend and also decisions. However, when it comes to skillful labors and also the education system to be able to have more IT educated people, that's also another the area that we need to look into. But Malaysia, talking about the Malaysia here particularly, this country registered about 33% year-over-year decline. And like I mentioned, that was in December 2015. And talking about the production and manufacturing, automotive and other sectors saw the least decline at 9% year-over-year, while logistic, courier, freight, the transportation, shipping, marine sector witnessed the steepest decline at 35%. And apparently demand for marketing and communication professionals took the leading, registering 1% year-over-year growth, with software, hardware, telecom role remained the weakest at 60%. So what do Malaysian companies do to improve and also fix this issue? Of course, it is mentioned the overall decline in the labor market is likely due to perhaps the negative economic outlook globally. But despite this, demand for sales and marketing roles as well as customer service roles will remain quite high due to high turnover rates in these respective sectors. So this has driven talent to look abroad for job opportunities even more, while companies are also shifting over to other markets such as the Philippines due to the affordable operation costs. Well, it is really time for Malaysia to improve and also to be able to have an attractive market when it comes to IT area. It has to be active again. This is quite important than ever as a recruitment activity, and also employers will be wise to ensure that their long-term business growth plan to take into account. They need to develop the career within the nation with the skilled labor force. Well, moving on to the next news is about the, unemployed in Myanmar's elephants grow Antsy and also heavier. Well, shrinking forest and also and the law enacted 3 years ago that prohibits the exports of these raw timber have saddled Myanmar with an elephant unemployment crisis. So about hundreds of elephants have been thrown out of this work, and many are not handling it quite well. Well, this again comes with an animal issue that it's really needs to be looked into. But they've become the elephants are a very sensitive creature, and of course with that they have become very angrier a lot more easily. So elephant hold almost a mystical place in Myanmar, basically home to the world's largest captive elephant populations. For 100 years, they helped extract precious teak and the hardwood from jungles that even modern machineries still cannot penetrate and function. But now the further of the 5,500 or so wrinkle, this captivity is a major preoccupation for government officials to who oversee them. Unemployment is really hard to handle, of course, and this is according to Uso Taipei, who has 6 elephants. They have been jobless for the past 2 years. So there's basically no logging because there are no more trees. Well, Myanmar's leading elephants expert, who's Dong King Ilmar, he estimated that there are now about 2,500 jobless elephants, and many of them here in the jungles of eastern Myanmar. So what do? How do they maintain these elephants? And they have been helping a lot, but now what's happening right now? So that's a big question, and also it also takes a bit of money to take care of these animals as well, and also to maintain in terms of health, their condition, they even places to stay. So it is a lot of things that Myanmar really has to look at. Well, moving on to the last news of this social culture and the trend segment here, Pope Francis has appointed Salesian Father Virgilio to Carmo da Silva, the province superior of the Indonesia Timor-Leste province, as the new Bishop of Dili, so who is replacing Bishop Alberto Ricardo da Silva, who died of the brain cancer, which was just last April. So this is quite a news when it comes to our region here. So coming all the way from the Timor-Leste, he has appointed this person to become next bishop, and appointment was announced by the Vatican Charge Affairs in the Timor-Leste. That was just during January the month. And the discourse has been administered by the Bishop Basilo Ono Nascimento of Bacau since February 9, 2015, after the previous bishop had his own the event. So now Bishop-elect Da Silva ordination mass is scheduled for March 19, which is very soon. Being a bishop is not, of course, an easy task. So that's why a lot of things are asked from each Catholic of Timor-Leste, priests, brothers, nuns, to pray for this person. So all the best to Bishop, the new Bishop from Timor-Leste, and we hope to hear more on the societal issue or the news in this region. So that's it for our news today. Do look for us via our social media, Facebook, Instagram, YouTube, as well as Twitter. But don't forget to visit us, our website, ASEAN.com. But when you're on the go and you have no access to our contents, do download our app ASEAN for more information and to access our contents. Thank you.